There are now 2 million people in jail nationwide. That is 1 in every 146 people, according to American Psychological Association. That is a rather large number of lives that could be changed. The biggest problem America is facing is that once these people are released, an alarming percentage of them come back. 68% are rearrested within 3 years of release. 79% are rearrested within 6 years of release, and 83% are rearrested within 9 years of release. And as for the 17%, maybe they learn their lesson, but the trauma and punishment that follows convicts after release may follow them for life. And this was put out by the U.S. Department of Justice. Many are never able to find employment. For most workplaces, even McDonald's will turn down an application that states that the applicant was formerly incarcerated. It is extremely difficult to come across a job application that doesn't ask the deciding question concerning the committal of a felony. Released convicts also may have many newfound mental disorders and issues that may have never rooted in them if they had not gone to jail. This is why requiring a rehabilitation program would be beneficial in decreasing repeat offenders and allowing released prisoners the chance to get on the right track financially and mentally. Authors Kalut and Kampf wrote, "This perpetual labor market punishment creates a counterproductive system of release and poverty, hurting everyone involved, employers, the taxpayers, and certainly formerly incarcerated people looking to break the cycle." And they're talking about how most employers won't hire formerly incarcerated people. This statement highlights the fact that even if a released convict wanted to get a job and contribute to society in a positive way, it is almost impossible for them to do so. They also show this graph. It shows that the unemployment rate among formerly incarcerated people in 2008 was 27%, and the unemployment rate peak during the Great Depression in 1933 was only 25%. This proves just how hard it is to get by as a released convict. We turn a blind eye to this shocking fact because most employers just don't want anyone with a felony to ruin their reputation. But if employers allowed these people another chance to prove themselves, it could change their lives. Sometimes people have to hit rock bottom to rise up again and create the life that was intended for them. Everyone has the potential to do well in this world with the right resources. But unfortunately, these resources are often out of reach for these released convicts. Another shocking statistic put out by the U.S. Department of Justice is that 77% of released drug offenders are arrested again within 9 years for non-drug related crime. This means that the prison system took someone with one problem and gave them many. This is a common theme for released prisoners. They often come out of jail with mental problems as well, causing violence, anger, and suicide. In fact, a study by Daniel Pratt concluded that in all age groups, suicide rates were higher in recently released prisoners than in the general population. Depression is a huge problem for people everywhere, but prisoners often deal with it after release because of the traumatic experience that they endured. A report put out by Michigan State University stated that of the 4 million prisoners released each year, 23% have suffered from major depressive disorder. This speaks volumes to express that the prison system is failing America. Many of the prisoners develop depression within the prison walls and come out with disorders that they would have never had. The way that the prison system sees mental health seems to be that it is not worth worrying about. Many inmates lose all their self-esteem because of the constant degradation and cruelty from prison guards and other inmates. Symptoms of PTSD are prevalent in released felons as well. This often causes anger, violence, or detachment. It is clear that the United States prison system is counterproductive in reforming its inmates. They return them to society with issues that cause criminal behavior to increase when it should be just the opposite. Clearly, there is a problem, and the system needs a huge change. And that change could be implemented. And I don't have an exact name for it yet, but a rehabilitation program that would work to solve substance abuse issues, treat mental disorders, provide group and individual therapy. These things would help the prisoners to realize that they're people too, and they're accepted, and they can turn themselves around. They can make a change. people with substance abuse issues, they never really look at the fact that it might be a problem, that we could help them, that they just have a need. Mental disorders, people get in trouble all the time just because of something that they cannot help. People have schizophrenic episodes and they're just thrown in jail, as if the fact that they have schizophrenia doesn't even matter. And we would provide group and individual therapy. This would help them connect with other people, realize that there's more productive things in life that you could be doing. Social interactions, positive social interactions, that's what we would be forcing. We would also assist in job finding and filling out applications, and possibly, I don't know how we would get this implemented, but after they're here for a week or 2 weeks or however long that they need to be here, if we see that they've improved and that they're going to contribute in a positive way and that they're regretful for the thing that they've done and that they've turned a corner, then we could give them some kind of green card that would consider them no longer a felon, and therefore they could actually get a job. And we would help them fill out applications. We would also help the inmates find and learn hobbies or trades. They could do trade work. I mean, that stuff is always available to them. They could be a plumber or an engineer, anything. And we could have volunteers come in and show them how to do these things. We could have workshops and stuff like that. And then we would provide food and shelter, obviously, for however long they're there. And we would teach inmates to think positively and productively. And I included this 7 things to keep in mind. The past can't be changed. You only fail if you quit. Sometimes no means not right now. Their opinions don't define your reality. Happiness is found within you. Doors close so better ones can open. And be proud to be yourself. We want them to come out of there with an open mind, an open heart, ready to embrace the life that they've been given and to prove their worth to people. I mean, many come out and they're never able to succeed again. They're not able to get a job. They end up on the street. They feel bad for themselves. They end up back in jail, and that's just the cycle of it. And prison, we should be working to reform these people. Don't we want the crime rate to go down in America? I mean, that's the only way we could do it, is to actually fix people and return them to society, a changed and new person. And sure, there's people out there that are never going to change. But for the few that we could reach, it would be worth it. And we would teach them responsibility and provide fun activities like art, as you can see, maybe some dance classes, just something to take their mind off of the trauma and the experience that they just went through. I just feel that once they serve their punishment, they should be able to live again. They owed what they did to society, and they gave it. They sacrificed their time, and they were punished. They learned their lesson, hopefully, and now it's time to return them to society, change people, and they can finally live again and live productively. So the United States prison system, as of now, is not used as it should be, which is to rehabilitate the offenders and return them to society as changed people. They should be better off than before, not worse, as many come out with disorders, violent tendencies, and issues that would have never rooted in them if they had not gone to jail. Many people believe criminals deserve punishment, but many need and deserve help. If implemented correctly, this rehabilitation program, the term repeat offender may never have to be used again. Thank you.